Hi, I'm Joe Walensky from WritersUA, and I'm meeting with many of the presenters who will be at our WritersUA West event coming up in Palm Springs in March. Today I'm speaking with Don Rasky. Hello, Don. How are you?
Hi, Joe. Doing just fine.
Well, Don, where are you speaking to us from today?
I'm speaking to you from San Diego, California.
All right. Well, if you're not familiar with Don, he's a senior technical writer at Mitchell International. He has experience with a lot of tools, including RoboHelp, FrameMaker, Flare, Madcap's feedback server, and his topic at the event is multi-sourcing to single sourcing with Flare and SharePoint. So why don't you give us a brief overview of that, Don?
Sure, Joe. Very quickly, we had some goals back in when we began our migration to Flare and the MadPack. We needed to cut project time and costs associated with creating our content. We needed to facilitate and improve collaboration amongst our groups within the company. We had several disparate groups that didn't necessarily talk to each other. We wanted to come to a common set of tools. We wanted to get some insight into what our users were doing, how they were using the help, and how we might perhaps be able to tune that help better for their use. And we wanted to know how we could more effectively manage multiple projects through version control. And so we had a few things that we were going for, and we did this over a period of about 3 years. We first implemented and adopted Madcap Flare, and
What are some of the things that you're going to talk about in the session with respect to the workflow and techniques and things like that?
well, for example, the importance of integrating with a source control system would be one thing in particular, because when you have a team of authors and you're all going to share the same content, if you don't integrate with a source control system, it can end up costing you in terms of time and consistency. You would still have multiple sets of content out there. You wouldn't know who had what or when. Also, with SharePoint, uh, there's much more can be done there than is often thought, and just very simple things like, for example, we can go out to our marketing folks and we can get all of our branding for any logo or image that has to remain the same throughout all of our content, and we can pull that into Flare and maintain it there and just refresh it. We can also borrow content from each other, integrate it into our projects, and it's unaltered in the source itself in the parent project, and yet everything is covered by source control itself. Plus, with very minor methodology changes to how we worked with images, we use Madcap Capture now for most of our image work, unless there's something particularly advanced that it doesn't cover. That on a rare occasion that would be handled in Photoshop, but we do things like that because we can layer images in Capture. It amounts to being a $39 tool. You can condition things in Capture. You can set it up for multiple different outputs. We also were able to create a fairly consistent set of templates within Madcap Flare that we're now taking our help systems and producing print content off of them rather than having discrete topics just for a print deliverable, which was something we would have done in the past.
And what types of output targets are you doing with your single sourcing?
Well, right now we're doing HTML5. We're doing classic web help. We're doing Chum, believe it or not, still Chum output in some instances, because there are some products that are still important to the portfolio that require Chum-based output, and we're able to do this all from a common Flare source, which is very, very helpful. Plus, we're doing Word output and PDF output. I think that pretty much covers it. Many times we will present an internal subject matter expert with a choice. We'll show them how the content looks, where it's been added into an online information system. We'll give them a PDF, and we'll give them an opportunity to work with a Word-based output that we provide so that it's consistent each and every time. One of the problems with receiving Word output from internal contributors is you don't know what you're getting back when you start working with that document. And so is your Word set up the same as their Word is set? You don't know. But if you produce it out of Flare, you really can give a consistent output each and every time that can perform to an expected level.
All right, great. Well, thanks for taking the time to spend a few minutes previewing your talk, and we'll see you in Palm Springs in March.
Looking forward to it, Joe.